Hey, Creative Mom, Kamela here from Creative Mom's Decants. So we are going to be making some earrings today using foil and veneer. So let's jump in. We're going to start in Cricut Design Space.
You're like a circle that floats around me, keeping me safe and sound.
So I've just opened up Design Space and I'm going to search for foil earrings. Let's try, I know there's some. Here's what I'm looking for. And the reason I wanted to bring you in on a custom made project, which I don't typically do, is sometimes they have some mistakes, and this one is no doubt one that does, and you can easily fix them and it does still make them usable. And I'm wondering if that maybe is what's shying a few people away from using foil, because I don't see it a whole lot. So the problem here is everything is set to a basic cut and we need things to go to foil. So just grab the item here that's the outline and change it to foil. And you can choose which one to use. I really don't see much of a difference between the sizes of the foil. And so I almost always just choose medium. And you can actually change your mind on that when you get to your machine. It has no idea which one of those you put in. If you wanted things to be different, that's where you want to pay close attention to this. I changed them all to foil medium for this example. Now, what I want to show you is if we had to make it now, it's all on separate mats, which is not what we want, is it? So we're going to go to cancel, and I'm going to select these and I'm going to attach them. And then I'm going to select these and I'm going to attach them. I have also found projects that aren't centered correctly, so use that alignment tool to do that if you need to do that. On this project, everything looks good. So now let's go to make it. Now everything's on the right screen and we can move over. You can cut this with your Cricut Explore or your Cricut Maker machine. I'll meet you on the machine side. So I am just using natural wood veneer, and I chose cherry, and I'm also using foil transfer sheets, and I chose the rose gold. These are both items that I grabbed on clearance. So if you watch the Cricut website, you can grab things on clearance, but these are what I'm choosing today. The wood veneer goes good on a strong mat, but it doesn't have to be taped down if the mat is good. It's thin. So wood veneer is an interesting project, or an interesting item if you've never played with it. But it's really thin, almost paper thin, but it's not. And we're going to place it down. Most of the time the Cricut, actually I don't think I've had any issues buying the Cricut veneer, but you do want to look because it's wood, and so make sure there's not an area like that's almost, but I usually like texture. And a pro tip is you can actually stain this to get it a little darker. You just want to be real careful and light coats with it because it's papery. So, all right, so we're going to place that down, and then I'm going to open up my foil here. All right, and the foil comes in sheets like this, and this is hard to believe, but everything's face up. So anytime you're doing leatherette or any type of foiling, the foil is placed face up. And I like to not quite take it to the edge. And then we have these strips that come with the foil so that you can get it down really nice and smooth. So I'm going to use that at the top here, and then I'm going to smooth and pull very carefully to get this to lay as flat as possible, because that's really important when you are using this foil. And then you're going to want to make sure that you place your design inside the tape. So you cannot have the design over the edge at all and not cutting on the tape. Sometimes when we tape leatherette down, we can cut over it, but you cannot at all with foil. So I'm just pulling snug. All right, another pro tip when you're playing with foil is load your mat upside down and edit your mat on Design Space to cut these items in the bottom corner and to foil in the bottom corner. So I am going to load my mat this way, and I have Cricut Design Space down here. So the first thing we're going to need is our foil tip, and I am going to use the medium for this project. Like I said, I don't notice too much of a difference. I don't. And I may regret that and wish I would have used the larger. But we're going to load the foil tip. And then we're going to load our mat. So remember, we are loading upside down because we have programmed it to cut down here. And load our mat. And we don't want these in the way. Don't be like me. I'm going to not push the play button until I moved them in time. Until my wheels are over. But you don't want your wheels to go over the foil. All right, and play. I will say that Maker 3 is clunky. I think I've said it a few times. That's what I'm using today, but it sounds loud. I really like it, but compared to the other machines, it's clunky. So just know that, and I'm not the only one that's said that, so it's all okay. All right, so it doesn't take too long here, really. I did speed it up just so you didn't have to sit through it, although as you see, I do. I will say that I should have used masking tape. You're going to see me kind of struggle a little bit at the end. The tape that comes with it, in my opinion, doesn't work good for leather or the wood veneer. So just use masking tape instead of the tape that comes with the foil. You want it taped down good. I was lucky that that happened just at the end, and it turns out so good. All right, so we have to remember to unload the foil tip or foil blade and load in our deep cut blade, just our standard everyday blade. We'll cut the veneer and push play. Here we go. So if you just work your spatula underneath the wood veneer, it really does come off nicely. My mat here is a brand new one. It's only been used a couple of times, so it's a little extra sticky, and it's still coming off just fine. So I'll remove those. You know me, I'm always cutting extras and playing. So I am a big fan of the Double J diamond hook backs from Craft Chameleon. And I'm just going to slide the wood veneer on there. And that is all I'm going to do for these. I don't think they need anything else, and I think that they are absolutely awesome. Completely my style, completely farmhouse style. They're very, very in and trendy now. So check out the trendy earrings that we just made using foil and Cricut Wood Veneer. Have a joyful day. Bye, friends.
You're like a circle that floats around me, keeping me safe and sound.